want to share a little bit about tactics and strategies?
Well, begin right away and do it the right way. I guess I integrate all of your resources and your approaches. This is just a fantastic way to do business. Don't spend a lot of time and money on other stuff. Just focus on this and be picky about listings and willing to reinvest in your product. One of the fastest ways to grow a farm, what we call a farm, a geographic sphere of influence or an area, is to carve it out of your career, use your sphere of influence, use your personal sphere of influence, and live on that and live on other prospecting activities. Take this, let's say that you want to spend $500 a month on a geographic farm. If I was coaching you personally, I would have you spend that money. When the listings started coming in, I would go ahead and create an account. And every time one of those houses sold, I would put that money in right back into that account. I would treat it as a separate division of my business and let that thing grow as fast as humanly possible. I would treat it as a standalone section of my career. And if I spent $6,000 and I got 10 in, I would take that extra 4 and I would go boom, boom, boom with that geographic area. I would use the same tactics and strategies to add on geographically to that area. If you have the discipline to do that, within a year, you're going to break even on this investment within 12 to 18 months. It's going to become self-funding. By the end of 2 years, it will become a profit center. By the end of 3 years, it's like printing money in your basement. And I'm telling you, you are off to the races. You have legs underneath the most powerful real estate proposition in the world, and it's become something magical. Look around in the business, you'll see geographic people, sphere of influence farmers who own areas.
Yes.
They make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and I'll tell you a little secret about them. They don't work very hard, okay? Because once this ball gets rolling, it just rolls.
Yep.
As long as you continue to do the things that got you there in the first place.
100%. 100%. Couldn't agree more.
Okay.
So I just want to jump a little bit and just talk about a little bit the image and marketing development of what that might look like. So I know we talked about it for a second. You know, you want to frame yourself as that community area expert, community specialist, right? Then we talked about the business card, adding that right on the business card, right? And have a business card for that purpose, though.
Yeah, I would have 2 sets of business cards. And if I had a particular zip code that I worked in, I would hand out that card. And I would talk about being a community specialist, an area specialist. And if I had somebody who wasn't in that area, I would hand out something else. Yeah. But specializing in marketing homes for a particular area. Get a slogan that I believe should incorporate the area that you're interested in working in. Your signs should say area or community resident or specialist, something like that says, I live here, I work here, this is my home, and this is where not only where I live, but this is where I sell and practice real estate.
Developing a slogan. AI, we're not going to talk much about it right now, but AI could make that happen for you too, couldn't it?
Magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, just punch it in there and say, hey, I want to be the Waterville or the Monclova or the Columbus area, Westerville expert, whatever you want to do, Traverse City, Indiana. But
beach communities.
Yeah.
Beach communities, river views. I sell views.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Think about the possibility of having a ghostwriter column or a blog. These days, all you got to do is punch it into ChatGPT, double check everything, and you're a genius. So these things are what used to take days now takes seconds. So take advantage of that. Yeah. If you don't use AI for anything else, use it to help you come up with clever marketing. It's magnificent at doing
polishing your brand.
Yeah, thank you. Perfect term.
Yep.
Polish your brand.
Yep.
Tell it, give me 10 different ways to express this. And then, if you like one, great. Keep going. Give me 10 more. Give me 10 more. It's a fun process, and it will get better almost automatically and quickly.
You can even do things like have your newsletter with vendor discounts for that particular area. You can have a Facebook
Yeah.
page. Some of you are great at marketing and Facebook, etc. You could have a Facebook page for that particular area. I used to actually, an area that I was concerned in, I actually used to do that. I hosted the homeowners association meeting, an annual meeting. Actually hosted it. And I got lenders and stuff to provide the breakfast weekend, a big breakfast, or we used to do it that way. And we did a picnic, and there's things you can do really become part of it, right? You can set up, you might want to talk a little about the specific websites for them or internet, the internet keywords in the internet to drive business to you too.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, and have a service directory on your website. You can set up a website with GoDaddy for $10 a month, and it's a really easy lift, and it's a very professional product. And you can market that website through postcards and newsletters into the area and become like a neighborhood resource, and it really, really works well.
The Sunnyside Villa expert, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I was talking to a guy recently. I interviewed him for the company, and we were in a resort community, and I asked him, he was $300,000 a year agent, and I said, well, so where does most of your business come from? And he's in a resort town. He was sitting at his desk. He turned around over his corner, and he pointed at a building across the street, and it was a 100-unit apartment or condominium complex. He said, I get 80% of my business from there. He said, that's where I originally lived. That's where I work. He said, every day, virtually 5 days a week, I eat lunch right next door. I know everybody in the community. He said, this is an easy, squeezy way to make a living. The interesting part of that story is he's a phenomenally successful real estate agent. He's also a school teacher, full-time school teacher. And he's able to generate that kind of income in spite of the fact that he has another job.
Concentration of efforts.
Concentration of efforts. That's a testimony to the efficiency and the effectiveness of this business model.